Smart 24, driving business.
And now let's talk the Uganda Railway Corporation's performance in 2022. When you look at some of the works in progress, includes the Mukono to Malaba, which is apparently likely to conclude by April this year. The Mukono Kampala construction about to commence as well this year. Then around $301 million has been allocated for the extra works of maintaining of these rails. For example, the Kampala-Kingira railway line, Kampala-Port Bell railway line, and then there's also some challenges in regards to vandalism and encroachment on the railway land in there. So in the inside this morning, we look at the performance of the Uganda Railway Corporation last year and what they look forward to achieving in 2023.
The corporation has a number of things that are lined up to be done during this quarter, during the remaining part of the financial year, but also the entire year. For example, one of the projects that started in last year, in February, of undertaking emergency works on the Mukono Malaba line. The works are about to be completed, and by February of this year, the handover will be done by the China Road and Bridge Corporation. Now, a number of things have been done under this project, and when you walk on the line, or when you move on the line right now, it's better than the way it was before 2022. We also told the public that we shall be, they were funding financing from the Spanish government to construct a concrete sleeper line from Mukono to Kampala. That activity is going to take place, and the works are going to commence in April of this year. What the Spanish have done, they've gone ahead to set up a concrete sleeper factory in Kawolo to make the construction easier, rather than having the concrete sleepers manufactured somewhere else. They are being manufactured in Uganda using material from the country, but also the workforce from this country. So that project will commence in April of this year, and at the end of that project, we shall be able to offer the much needed passenger services from here to Mukono and back. And we also have plans this year because, like you all know, the African Development Bank approved monies, $301 million to do a number of things, and amongst those is the construction of a line from Kampala to Chengira and Kampala to Port Bell. All those lines will be concrete sleeper lines. And what we are looking at in this is to provide passenger services out of the city, because for example, on these roads, the roads we are talking about, most of the times there is traffic jam. So if you offer a direct mode of transport from Kampala to Kyengera, for example, we believe that would have offered that service to Ugandans so that they don't spend a lot of time in traffic jam, and probably the amount of time and that affects productivity, the amount of time you spend on the road will be reduced tremendously. We are also amongst the other priorities because we are also looking. We have a lot of encroachment. We have a lot we have encroachment, but we also have vandalism. Yeah, and these are problems that have kept on occurring. But we've partnering with other agencies, government agencies, the UPDF and Uganda Police, want to intensify operations, to remove, first of all, encroachers, illegal encroachers on URC land, but also arrest and prosecute everyone that is caught in the act of vandalizing railway assets. These assets are very costly, but in no minute some Ugandans have taken, and it does affect, in the long run, it does affect our ability to transport goods or passengers, but it also affects the broader economic agenda of this country. So we are going to intensify those operations to see that the whole issue of vandalism of railway infrastructure and other infrastructure is managed. Now, first of all, URC land is government land, and whoever settles on government land is committing an illegality. That said, there are two categories of encroachers. The encroachers that are on URC land illegally, and why do I say illegally is because we did undertake a settlement action plan sometime back for the purpose of rehabilitating the Kampala Malaba line, and people evaluated, and something will be given to them. That is based on the availability of resources from government. But there are also other people who just wake up and sit on some URC land. Now, those ones who keep settling up to today will be forcefully removed from URC land, because anyone who settles on URC land outside of the May 2022 deadline is illegally on that land and will be removed. If they resist, then they'll be removed forcefully and they'll be prosecuted. I did say earlier on that the African Development Bank approved financing of $301 million US. That financing will go into a number of things. Construction of lines. It will also use to procure more passenger wagons. It will also go towards building or construction of or procurement of wagon ferries, the big ferries on the waters to transport goods, and so many other things. So that money will be used to do so many other things. The financing for the emergency works that are happening now, that will be handed over next month, that financing was by government of Uganda fully. At $51 million US. It was funded by the government of Uganda, and the construction has been, the rehabilitation was awarded, contract was awarded to China Road and Bridge Corporation. And then other financing from the Spanish government and also more funding from government of Uganda. This project has been, preparations for this project have been on for a while now. So as a corporation, we are ready to manage, because we've had the first project with the CRBC, we are ready to manage any issues that may come up. Because right now they haven't come up, so I cannot specify them, but we are ready, the readiness we have to complete the project, but also manage all challenges has been put into consideration. What I need to tell Ugandans is that so many requests of Ugandans would like to see the train work, and what we are doing and the government commitment to finance rail is an indication that rail will be exactly what Ugandans want it to be in a few years from now. But we also call upon Ugandans to desist from vandalizing rail material. Rail material is very expensive, and it also takes a lot of time to replace. So vandalizing one takes the corporation and the country back a few thousands of millions of shillings. Now they have been, I've also read them, that information in papers regarding termination of contracts. On SDR, I believe that the Ministry of Works who are supervisors are in better position to expound on this, because it's still now at policy level, and also the SDR Secretariat, who are in charge of the entire project, could throw more light on this, because we are also reading them in the papers. But what we can say is the SGR and MGR systems can work together, one supplementing the other, because the cargo is there. The cargo is there. We have the imports and the exports. So the cargo is there for both systems to work. And in other countries, Kenya still does use both, and even in other developed countries, they still use both systems of transportation.
Well, as you look at the Uganda Railway Corporation performance and looking at the key highlights as the 2023 calendar is up and running, also takes us back to the developments of the standard gauge railway. Just recently here, the Ugandan government had to terminate the contract with the Chinese firm, only to look out for the opportunities that will arise with the Turkish firm that is yet to take over this same duty as the new ones behind Uganda's standard gauge railway. Now, the developments furthermore give Uganda a key point to stand in regards to making sure that the railway is back and running. And of course, when you look at the developments that are steadily coming up, you get to realize that the Kampala-Chingira railway line, then the Kampala-Port Bell railway line is basically one to look at in the long run as well. And besides that, you look at the Mukono Malaba works are still in progress, and they're about to complete as of April 2023. Now, besides the same situation, there was at least 301 million US dollars that was put in place for the extra work on the Uganda Railway, that is to make sure that they complete these particular routes, which include the Kampala-Chengera railway line. Then there is the Kampala to Port Bell railway line at the end of the day. But one of the other key challenges that have been highlighted is that vandalism and encroachment on the railway land, or the land that is actually supposed to be left aside for the railway expansion, is one of the other issues that most of the people living close to the railway line are apparently setting up buildings or setting up businesses, or others actually settling there permanently. Something that has actually become another big issue. Now, besides that same ground, we are off from the SMB Insights, and now we're looking at the story preview. Joining us on site this morning, we do have Pedison Mumbere, senior reporter, and also there behind the business edition every Sunday at 8 p.m. Now we're here to at least take a look at what is trending within the local business perspective in Uganda, and also what to look out for in the bulletin tonight. Good morning, Pedison. Many thanks for joining us.
How are you, Sonko?
I'm okay. So what do you have for us this evening, and what should we be?
And before that, we can see you're making some sports review. I don't know whether you're Arsenal fan.
Yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan.
So you have a reason to laugh.
Yeah, I'm in the mood for a Monday after that win against Manchester United. You do look like a Manchester United.
No.
You're an Arsenal fan.
Fan.
Okay.
But I'm not too excited like you.
Okay. So what really should we be expecting?
Today I was last week. I was listening to the Parliamentary Committee on Defense saying that they tend to spend billions of money to buy sniper dogs, dogs for security purposes. And then what was bothering me was like you find that one dog, we are going to spend 3 million on one dog, but we want 175 dogs. You get it? 175 sniper dogs, and each dog will be spending 30 million on one dog.
30 million you get
30 million on one dog, and we want 175.
So that's another budget.
So Rosemary Nyachikongoro is a committee chairperson on the face, and it was like at least every district must be having that sniper dogs, because it is helping us in as far as keeping security is concerned.
Okay.
But the problem comes to that money.
The 30 million per dog.
The 30 million per dog. The money that we got. You see, that dog is being taken care of more than a human being.
Very true.
And that big human. So,
and it's not going to be in use every day.
So in each and every district, you can imagine where we're going to put all those dogs. And now I'm looking at the 30 million that we're going to spend on each dog. Each dog like it. So then I want to go to police.
Okay.
And ask Mr. Inanga how possible this is going to be, and where are we going to get this budget? Is the money
for the 170?
But in any way, is it prudent even
for us to go in for those sniper dogs?
Sniper dogs. Why do we need them?
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, I've seen these dogs. I've seen those people. The police personnel is using those dogs.
Which is a department.
It is a department there. But sometimes, if they take it to go and detect something, sometimes we end up with no results. I'm imagining, do we need these dogs? Do we need to spend that amount of money on those dogs? Okay. I just want to know, maybe I'll learn from him as a security personnel. And today we're going to have a presser there at police. You know, every beginning of the week, we always have a police presser, defense presser at Naguru. So that's where we're going right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, Pedison Mumbere, with something that we will definitely be excited to understand more about, like he was mentioning, the police dogs and the sniper dogs.
Yeah.
Is it prudent enough, like he did say? Should we look at it as an alternative or something that we should be having, yet it is costing us 30 million per dog, and we need 170 dogs. 175 dogs. So that is something that is actually going to be posing some huge questions. So if you want to follow up more on that report and what the police has to say and how this will be happening and where the money will be coming in from, you definitely have to catch up with Business Today tonight with Pedison Mumbere giving you that full detailed report. And for now, we do take a break. I will be returning with Barija Andrew on ground this morning.